You think being nice protects you. It doesn't. And this is where most people get it wrong, because the same thing you believe makes people like you might actually be the reason they slowly lose respect for you, ignore you, or just stop valuing you the same way. And the worst part is, you don't even see it happening. Everything still looks normal. They still talk to you, they still smile, nothing feels obviously wrong, but something has already shifted. Have you ever had that feeling where people don't take you seriously, even though you've done nothing wrong? Or you're always the one giving, showing up, being there, but somehow it still feels like you're not really valued? That's not random. There's a reason for it. And it's not the obvious stuff. It's the small things, the subtle patterns, the behaviors that feel completely normal to you, but land very differently to other people. And once you see it, you're going to start noticing it everywhere, especially in the one thing most people think is harmless. Number one, you make people too comfortable around you. People don't respect what feels too easy. And I know that sounds harsh, but just think about it for a second. If someone knows they can cancel on you last minute and you'll just say, "It's fine." If they ignore your message and you still reply instantly when they come back, if they know you'll always adjust, always accommodate, what reason do they have to take you seriously? There isn't one. Not because they're bad people, but because you've made it easy for them not to. And here's where it gets deeper. You're not doing this because you're weak. You're doing it because you want peace. No tension, no issues, no conflict. But that instinct is exactly what removes your value. Because people don't just respect kindness, they respect boundaries. And when there are no boundaries, there's nothing to respect. And this is where it gets even more subtle, because even when you think you're doing the right thing socially, something else is happening underneath. Number two, you hide your real thoughts. You don't always say what you really think. You soften it, you adjust it. Sometimes you don't say it at all, because you don't want to offend anyone. And on the surface, that feels like the right move. But people can feel it. Even if they can't explain it, they can tell when something is being held back. And it creates this quiet distance, because real connection doesn't come from saying the perfect thing. It comes from saying something real, even if it's slightly uncomfortable, even if it creates a little friction. That's what makes it feel human. So when you remove that, you don't become more likable. You become harder to connect with, almost like people can't fully reach you. And what's interesting is, most people think the solution is to be even more agreeable, which actually makes the next problem worse.
3. You try too hard to be liked. You start trying too hard to be liked. Not in an obvious way. It's subtle. You adjust to people. You match their energy. You try to keep everything smooth. And yes, it works. You don't get rejected, but you also don't get respected. Because people trust consistency. They trust people who feel solid, predictable in who they are, not in how they react. But if you shift, depending on who you're around, something feels off. Not enough for them to call it out, but enough for them to pull back just a little. And here's the part most people never realize until it's too late. The more you try to be liked, the less people actually value you, because it feels like you're seeking approval, even if you don't mean to. And when people sense that, they stop treating your time like it matters. 4. You don't make people earn access to you. Not everyone deserves your time. Not everyone deserves your attention. But if you are too nice, you give it anyway. Freely, no filter, no hesitation. And over time, that changes how people see you, because people naturally value what they have to earn. If your time is always available, it stops feeling important. If your presence is guaranteed, it stops meaning anything. And nobody says this out loud. They don't disrespect you directly. It's quieter than that. They just stop valuing it. And once that happens, you start noticing something else. Situations where you should speak up, but don't. 5. You avoid conflict at all costs. Avoiding conflict feels like the right thing to do. You don't want tension. You don't want drama. So you stay quiet. You let things go. You tell yourself it's not worth it. But every time you do that,
You're teaching people something. You're teaching them that your boundaries don't matter, that they can cross the line and nothing happens. And over time, that becomes the expectation, until one day you're not even seen as someone with limits. You're just easy. And easy doesn't get respected. What makes this worse is, even when you're giving a lot, it still doesn't translate the way you expect. 6. You give, but people don't feel it. You help people, you show up, you support. So logically, people should value you. But that's not how it works, because when something is always there, people stop noticing it. It becomes normal, expected, almost invisible. And when they stop feeling it, they stop appreciating it. Not because they don't care, but because it no longer stands out. And when your presence stops standing out, you start blending into the background without even realizing it. 7. You don't command presence. When you walk into a space, do people feel you, or do you just blend in? Because people are always reading energy, your tone, your posture, the way you carry yourself. And if your energy says, "I don't want to disturb anything," people will treat you like you don't matter. But when your presence is grounded, calm, certain, everything shifts, not because you said anything, but because of how you show up. And right around this point, most people start realizing something about themselves they didn't notice before. Pause for a second. Which one of these felt a little too real? Be honest, because that one is the pattern that's been affecting you the most this whole time. And if you ignore it, nothing changes. But if you actually fix it, everything starts to shift. And this is where people usually misunderstand the entire message. 8. You confuse being nice with being valuable. Being nice is not the problem. Being only nice is. Because being nice is common. Everyone is nice. But value, that's different. Value comes from standards, from boundaries, from knowing what you accept and what you don't. If all you bring is niceness, people don't see depth. They just see someone who's pleasant. And pleasant is easy to replace. And when that starts affecting how people treat you, it also starts affecting how you see yourself. 9. You let people define your worth. If someone pulls away, it affects you. If someone changes, you question yourself. If someone disrespects you, it stays in your mind. And that energy shows. Because when your worth depends on how people treat you, you start lowering yourself to keep them. You tolerate more, you accept less, and people feel that, even if they can't explain it. And once that pattern sets in, you become predictable in a way that quietly pushes people further away. 10. You're too predictable. People know exactly how you'll react, exactly what you'll say, exactly how you'll behave. There's no edge, no tension, no unpredictability. And while that feels safe, it's also boring. And boredom doesn't create connection, it creates distance. You don't need to stop being nice. You just can't be only nice. That's the difference. Because real respect comes from balance. Kind, but not soft. Calm, but not passive. Respectful, but not invisible. And once that balance shifts, people respond differently. Not because you forced it, but because you stopped giving your value away for free. So next time you feel like people don't value you, don't look at them first. Look at the patterns. Look at what you've been allowing. Because people don't randomly dislike you. They respond to what you show them consistently. And once you change that, everything else changes with it.